Imagine waking up tomorrow, except no human has ever existed. No cities, no countries, no pyramids, no internet, no history books, no footprints on the moon, nothing that humanity has ever built. Now look at her from space. Instead of glowing cities lighting the night, the planet is completely dark, silent, wild. For 300,000 years, one species reshaped almost every corner of this world. But what if that species never appeared at all? Would mammoths still walk across frozen plains? Would dinosaurs somehow still exist? Would another intelligent species rule the planet? Or would Earth become something unimaginably different? Let's find out. Everything changes before history even begins. Around 300,000 years ago, Homo sapiens evolve in Africa. But in this timeline, they never do. Perhaps a tiny mutation never happens. Perhaps a drought wipes out our ancestors. Perhaps evolution simply takes another path. Either way, humanity never arrives. The world continues without the species that would eventually alter climates, redirect rivers, build civilizations, and launch satellites. Nature never has to compete with us. The balance of ecosystems remains almost entirely intact. Ancient forests spread across continents. Massive grasslands stretch farther than the eye can see. The oceans teem with giants. Earth is still wild, on a scale we've never witnessed. Without humans, many extinct animals never disappear. The woolly mammoth still roams Siberia. The giant ground sloth slowly wanders South America. Irish elk march through European forests with antlers wider than cars. The saber-toothed cat remains one of nature's greatest hunters. Australia is still home to enormous marsupials. New Zealand's giant moa birds continue ruling its forests. Even North America looks completely different. Millions of bison migrate across endless plains. Predators follow them in enormous numbers. Entire ecosystems remain untouched by highways, farms, or cities. The food chain remains balanced. Nothing dominates nature. Life simply continues evolving, exactly as it has for millions of years. Without farming, there are no fields. Without logging, there are no empty forests. Without concrete, there are no roads. Nearly every continent becomes covered in dense wilderness. Europe is almost entirely forest. The Amazon grows even larger. North America becomes a mixture of endless woodlands and giant grasslands. Rivers flow naturally. Beavers reshape landscapes. Floodplains expand. Wetlands flourish. Millions of species that disappeared in our timeline continue thriving. The air is cleaner. The skies are darker. At night, the Milky Way stretches brilliantly across the heavens. Earth feels ancient again, as if civilization was never even possible. Here's the fascinating question. If humans never evolved, would another intelligent species eventually replace us? Some scientists think it's possible. Chimpanzees already use tools. Crows solve complex puzzles. Octopus escape impossible tra. Dolphins recognize themselves in mirrors. Over millions of years, evolution never stops experimenting. Perhaps ravens eventually develop advanced communication. Maybe dolphins create underwater civilizations impossible for us to imagine. Perhaps elephants pass knowledge through generations until culture begins emerging. Or maybe no species ever becomes truly technological. Intelligence is incredibly expensive. Large brains consume enormous amounts of energy. Evolution only keeps them if they provide a major survival advantage. Maybe humans were simply an extraordinary accident, one that never happens twice. Without industrial civilization, climate change never begins. Carbon levels remain naturally balanced. Coral reefs flourish. Arctic ice remains thicker. Rainforests continue storing vast amounts of carbon. Plastic never enters the oceans. Oil stays deep underground. Coal remains untouched. The atmosphere never fills with factory smoke. Even the sound of Earth changes. No airplanes, no highways, no engines, only wind, zen, thunder, birdsong, and the endless rhythm of nature. For millions of years, Earth exists almost exactly as evolution intended. But there's another side to this story. Without humans, the universe becomes strangely quiet. No telescopes search distant galaxies. No probes visit Mars. No spacecraft leave the solar system. No one asks, are we alone? The pyramids are never built. Music is never composed. Paintings are never created. Mathematics is never discovered. There is no Shakespeare, no Einstein, no astronauts, no satellites transmitting signals into deep space. The universe contains life, but perhaps no one is there to wonder why it exists. It's easy to imagine a world without humans as peaceful, cleaner, wilder, more balanced, and in many ways, it probably would be, but Earth would also lose something impossible to replace. Curiosity, the ability to question existence itself, the drive to understand the stars, the desire to imagine worlds that don't yet exist. Humans have changed this planet more than any species before us. Sometimes for the worse, sometimes for the better. Perhaps our greatest challenge isn't proving we belong here. It's learning to live as part of nature instead of above it. Because unlike this alternate Earth, we do exist, and the future of this planet depends entirely on what we choose to do next. If you enjoyed exploring this alternate reality, subscribe for more journeys through impossible worlds. Because the next question might change the way you see our own universe forever.